Yo, what's going on guys, hey Grouch here. So looking through the comments of some of my previous videos, I've come to realize that a number of you guys really want me to make a video pointing out references to Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Personally, I've only watched a few episodes myself, but I figured this video wouldn't be too difficult to make. Plus, I butcher names on a regular basis, so yeah. To my surprise, there were a ton of references to this series, and I mean Dragon Ball Z number of references. Obviously, I couldn't fit them all into one video, but do expect to find some of your favorite series on this list. But before we get into that, I wanted to quickly talk about today's sponsor, Elsword. Elsword is a free-to-play manga/anime inspired online action RPG side-scroller that features both player versus environment and player versus player action, giving you the freedom to decide whether you want to play alongside friends or against them. The game lets you choose from 12 playable characters, each of which come with their own unique backstory and abilities. All 12 have received updates as of recently, and I've been told the developers already have plans of releasing another big wave of updates in about a month. So it's good to see the developers are constantly introducing new and exciting features to better enhance the player experience. Some of the most recent updates include new character icons, intros, and primary skills, brand new character artwork and skill designs, the introduction of a new and improved automatic skill system, as well as some other changes to better balance the game. I should also mention that the game is currently in the process of transitioning from a pay-to-win to a play-to-win, which if you ask me is how it should be for any game, so kudos to them for doing that. They've also recently come out with a brand new anime based on the series. If you are interested in learning a bit more about the Elsword characters and backstories, then be sure to check that out. There will be a link in the description to both the game and the anime series if you're interested in that. But with that being said, let's get on with the video. Number 10. Fairytale. Now, the reference we're going to be talking about today is one that appears a few times within the series and revolves around the character Lummy. When she first appeared in episode 240, she is shown skipping around before unexpectedly pulling out a Jojo pose, her facial features quickly changing to mimic the series. This pose can be seen a few times throughout the episode, but it can also be seen for a few seconds in Fairytale's 20th anime opening sequence. Now, playing any sort of copyrighted music in a YouTube video is basically asking for it to get removed, so instead, here is just a quick clip of that. Number 9. Kill la Kill. So I bet you're thinking, I totally know this reference, Grouch. You obviously included Kill la Kill onto the list because of the Goku uniform that Mako acquires in episode 7. And to tell you the truth, I honestly thought that too. But after looking into it a bit, this actually is not a reference at all. The reason people often tend to think this is due to the fact that both Jojo and Kill la Kill took traits from old Bancho style when coming up with these designs. Bancho basically being another word for delinquents. So while you can argue that they do indeed have some sort of connection, I wouldn't exactly call this a direct reference. The reference I am talking about is one that appears in the manga, specifically chapter 1. Upon realizing that she is unable to defeat the boxing team captain, Takaharu Fukuroda, Ryuko uses her final quote trump card titled Running Away, which surprises everyone around her. This is a reference to Joseph's secret technique of the same name. The running pose Ryuko recreates also supports this. Number 8. No Game No Life. Now this series actually has a handful of references scattered throughout, so I'ma just go through them as fast as I can. In episode 2, Stephanie Dalla makes a fuss of her emotions towards Sora. Frustrated, she shouts while striking a pose directly referencing Dio in part 3. In episode 3, Sora quotes Rihan Kishibe. This happens right before he and Shiro pose to refuse a proposal, similar to how Rohan rejected Highway Stars. In episode 8, Sora and Shiro are shown shouting King Crimson, right before skipping time and warping themselves to Izuna's side. This is a reference to Diavolo's stand and his ability. The next scene we see of Sora petting Izune is a reference to the character Sio Kalada. And lastly, in the special episode 2, Sora can be seen making a reference to the character Pucci. Number 7. Pokemon. The reference we're going to be talking about appears in episode 860 of the Pokemon anime, or episode 57 of the XY saga. I'm sure we all know how a typical Pokemon episode goes, as it's been the same for pretty much ever. Team Rocket tries to steal Pokemon, ends up battling Ash and his current group, gets defeated, and everyone's all good and dandy. Well, this episode was no different, but there is one thing interesting about it. You guessed it, a reference to Jojo's. Right as Ash and his friends are preparing to attack Team Rocket to try to get back their stolen ice cream cones, Meowth does a series of poses before deciding to retaliate with a giant blizzard attack. If you pay attention to the poses he performed, however, all 3 of them can actually be found within Jojo's. Not only that, but if you pay close attention to the dialogue, you can hear him say Muranya, Muranya, Muranya. This is meant to be a parody version of Dio's battle cry. The nya added at the end is a suffix that translates to mean meow, which fits seeing as Meowth is obviously a Pokemon based on a cat. As you could have guessed, this reference remains true only to the Japanese version. Number 6. Sonic. Now, this reference does not take place in any of the Sonic video games, which is what the franchise is most famous for, but instead in an official comic book. In issue 270 of the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series, an off-panel comic strip was featured at the end of the issue, portraying Sonic and Knuckles as Kenshiro and Jotaro. The strip concludes with Knuckles and Sonic engaging in a fistfight, all while shouting, Number 5. My Hero Academia. Now, this one is a short reference that can be found only in the anime, specifically during the final exam arc. During their exams, all the students from Class 1A are put into groups and have to go up against different UA teachers. Both Kirishima and Sato are paired up with Cementos. They try their best to defeat him, but they have a pretty difficult time getting past the many obstacles that he conjures up. It is at that moment that the two had enough and throw a series of punches that strongly imitate what you see in Jojo's. Oh, and did you manage to catch what they say? Number 4. Oreshura. This series earns a spot on this list due to the number of references made by a single character. If you guys have watched the series, you'll know that one of the main characters, Masuzu Natsukawa, often brings up Jojo throughout the show. Her boyfriend also happens to be a fan of Jojo. Whenever Masuzu's temperament gets too unpredictable, he has the habit of using Jojo-related topics to change the subject and brighten the mood. To be honest, I'm the exact same way when it comes to my girlfriend, only with memes. It's like I always say, if you two can't meme, is there really a team?
Jojo って焼肉屋さん？ジョジョの奇妙な冒険を知らないというの？知らない。あなたがモテない理由が分かりました。あ、ほら！ジョジョも知らないような北京現人だからです。日本人よ。
Number 3. Heroes. Heroes is an American science fiction drama television series which premiered way back in 2006 on NBC. It is a series that follows the lives of ordinary people who come to discover that they possess extraordinary powers. One of these individuals is Hiro Nakamura, a former computer programmer that has evolved beyond a normal human and now possesses the ability to bend time and space itself. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Now, the reference to Jojo appears both within and outside the series, which is a little confusing, but let me explain. When the show was still running, Hiro would often write his ideas down in a blog, but not on the actual show. Instead, this blog was found on the official NBC website. This blog was not meant to add anything significant to the story's telling, but was more of a bonus update for his character. Unfortunately, after doing a bit of searching, it seems that the original blog posts are no longer available on the site, which I guess is to be expected as it has been over 10 years since they were posted. Luckily for us, someone somewhere made a copy and posted it online. In a couple of these blogs, it was revealed that Hiro was actually a pretty major fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. His first blog in particular listed JoJo as his favorite manga series of all time, even stating that he wished he could be like JoJo and go on adventures. Other references would soon pop up in future blog posts, and he would even go on to take the alias Shotaro Kujo after his original blog post gets taken down. As for the references in the series itself, there is apparently a scene that references the series directly. However, footage from the show has proven difficult to find. I did, however, manage to find one of two scenes in which he references Dio's signature battle cry, Number 2. Street Fighter. So there are a few references to JoJo hidden in the Street Fighter franchise. I'ma just try to breeze through this one for time's sake, so here they are. The first relates to the character Dalsim, who has the ability to stretch his limbs. As confirmed by Alira Nishitana, the lead designer for Street Fighter 2, this ability had gained inspiration from the Ripple Zoom Punch technique. In a different interview with producer Noritaka Funamizu, it was revealed that Gaulis' overall appearance was modeled after John Perry Polnareff. This is further confirmed in earlier artworks that gave details explaining the design process. The character Rose was inspired by Lisa, as both share a similar outfit as well as fighting style, which consists of channeling energy into their scarves. Both characters also apparently like to take baths, and Rose's stage in the game Street Fighter Alpha 2 is Venice, which just happens to be the same city that Joseph meets Lisa. And last but not least, Juri Han from Super Street Fighter 4 shares a similar hairstyle and outfit to Jolene's. Both characters also have certain designs that make references to spiders and butterflies. Remember when I said I butcher names pretty often? I can already hear those triggered fans roasting me in the comments. Number 1. Naruto. In Naruto Ultimate Ninja 4, there is a quick and to the point reference to JoJo's. More specifically, one of the ultimate moves cast by Shikamaru Nara. After hitting a player with this jutsu, Shikamaru will do a series of movements, forcing the opposing player to do the same. One of these just happens to be Jonathan's famous pose, with some matching special effects in the background. Personally, I've never played the specific game, and I'm not 100% sure if the reference managed to make it into any others. If you guys know any more about it, be sure to let me know in those comments below. Also, this is kind of last minute, but I did find another reference, this one found in episode 40 of the Rock Lee series.
お年玉免除に簡単に乗ってくる残念な大人が他にもいた。さあ、第1回。
And that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I wanted to give a big thanks again to Elsword for sponsoring the channel. Again, if you're interested in giving the game a try, there will be a link in the description for you to go and do that. If you guys aren't aware already, I recently uploaded my 100,000 subscriber video where I'm giving away a lot of cool anime stoofs. Just thought I'd let you in on it if you guys are interested. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what series you'd like me to cover next. But with that being said, guys, I will thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.